Palestine, which used to look something like this at one time, went down with time, and today it looks something like this. It didn't happen overnight. Rather, there is a long and unknown history behind it. By the beginning of the 19th century, Palestine was part of the Ottoman Empire, where Christians, Jews and Muslims were the inhabitants of three tribes. At the same time, the Zionist movement was based in Europe. This was a movement whose purpose was to unite the Jews in the world through the establishment of a Jewish state. For its purpose, a sacred land like Palestine was chosen. This place was called the Holy Land or the Promised Land for the Jews. And according to the Jews, it was the land of Canaan where, by God's will, their laws were implemented on the Jewish people. Therefore, the Jews in a large number around the world headed this place when the first wave of European Jews came here and settled. After the end of the Great War, the Ottoman Empire ended, after which Palestine was captured by Britain. This is the period of 1917 when Britain supported the establishment of a separate state of Jews. After which, the Jews in Palestine became fast in the settlements. Due to this, the Jews and the Arabs there took over the land of Tanajiyat and reached the war. In such a situation, Britain had to retreat, and the United Nations took control of Palestine. The United Nations gave Palestine to separate states, that is, the Arab Palestine and the Jewish Israel, a resolution to divide. Jerusalem, which was sacred to the Jews, Christians and Muslims, was given the status of a free international area under the UN. The UN's plan was accepted by the Jews. Therefore, on 14 May 1948, the Jewish state Israel came into existence. But the Arab countries around the world refused to accept this decision, so the First Arab-Israel War began. Israel won the war, after which it captured the areas that were included in the UN's partition plan in Palestine. Palestine was divided into three parts, the West Bank and Eastern Jerusalem, when Egypt was captured by Gaza. While 78% of Palestine, including Western Jerusalem, was captured by Israel. As a result, 7 million Palestinians were homeless. This day is called Al-Nakba, i.e. destruction. In 1967, the Arab powers and Israel came forward again. This war is called the Six-Day War. Israel was greatly victorious in this war. After this war, the map of Palestine looked something like this. Now the whole of Palestine was occupied by Israel. The situation started to get a little worse, but then a large number of Jews, West Bank and Gaza began to move and settle. In response to this, a lot of hard work came forward on the part of the Palestinians. At the same time, an armed organization, the People's Liberation Organization, came into action, the purpose of which was to free Palestine from the control of Israel. The war continued for many years. Finally, the PLO agreed to divide the area with Israel, but it did not end here. More Jews were occupied by Palestine. The United Nations also declared this act illegal. As a result, a conflict took place in Palestine, i.e. rebellion. As a result, Hamas came into action, which was a political and military movement that was established on Gaza and the West Bank against Israel. In 1993, the United States signed the Oslo Agreement on the part of Israel and the PLO. According to this agreement, the West Bank was divided into three parts. Area A was given to the complete Palestinian occupation. Area B was given to the Palestinian and Israeli occupation, while Area C was given to the Israeli occupation. There was a problem here. Actually, Area C, which was given to the Israeli occupation, had a large amount of agricultural land, water and material resources, while in the Palestinian-controlled areas, there were no such resources. More negotiations proved meaningless. As a result, another conflict arose. Israel established walls and checkposts in the West Bank to limit Palestinians now there were to separate governments in Gaza and the West Bank. Israel took control of Gaza and closed all kinds of land, sea and air routes. On 6 December 2017, US President Donald Trump accepted Jerusalem as Israel's territory and transferred the US Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. This act was completely against the United Nations agreement. Now in 2020, Israel and Palestine are presenting some such plans.